She did it. She did it. She can open the gate to Helheim.
To Hela. To Dylan. She did it.
She did it.
Open the gate. Open the gate.
Why is she waiting?
She's done it.
So dark. It's dark. The dark. Only the dead may cross.
Only the dead may cross into hell.
There is no one here but me.
Not you.
Did you think that I would let you go? That you lost me back in the wilds? I will never let you go. You can't get rid of me. I am your shadow. And I will be watching when you draw your last die. Where all dreams come true. You searched for control, a way to pull through. When you were in love, you left him in tears, to smother your furies and banish your fears. But in darkness they came, through stormy black seas they raided these shores. Do you still hear his screams? And now that you're home, he's so far away. They've taken his soul. To these gods you cannot pray. They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through his darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. You fought for love unspoilt by your darkness within. You fought for your dreams. Now there's no way to win. In the head of his corpse lies the seat of his soul. So you must carry his vessel to bring him back home. They can break you, but not your promise. Even death won't keep you apart. Through this darkness you will find him. In your sword still beats a heart. The darkness touched you. Everyone could see it in the hollows of your eyes. A gaze averted from life. You ran from it but brought it nearer, led it to him. An endless suffering worse than death. And you wanted to surrender, abandon and to find peace with the gods. No. The darkness won't allow it. So you will walk into the lair of the beast. Look it in the eye, and you will go to war This is your mission. This is your quest. There is nothing else left. The gods made you a warrior for a reason. It's your calling. Road ahead. The only one that makes any sense.
It's nearly over. Finish this.
Every gate you open into darkness brings another challenge.
The journey to Helheim is never a straight one. Each must find their own path. Align yourself to its secrets, and you will find yours.
However you come to the gold-covered bridge that leads to Hell, you may find it guarded by a giantess. She will ask your name, she will ask your lineage, she will ask your business. The Northmen tell of the warrior woman Brynhild, who leapt into fire and rode to Hell to join her slain love Sigurd, and is challenged by the giantess. Hela possesses large dwelling places in Helheim. Tall are her walls, high are her gates. The name of her dish is hunger. Her knife is famine. On her threshold all will stumble. Her bed is called sick bed, and her bed hangings are called flames of a funeral pyre. They say she is easy to recognize, half black and half the color of flesh, and her face menacing and grim.
Yes, the source of the darkness. It's coming. This is your moment.
I'm sorry. I can't watch this.
What are you doing? You're showing weakness. Disgrace. The gods will punish you for this. Pick up the sword. Pick it up. Fight the darkness. Fight it. Get up. Get up. Get up and fight.
Stormy seas and lost souls. She's dreamt of this before. They say dreams are visions of our memories, thoughts and fears, as seen by our inner eye. But what if each one of us is always dreaming, even when awake, and we only see what our inner eye creates for us? Is this what hell is? A world shaped by Senua's nightmares. Maybe that's why people feared seeing the world through her eyes. Because if you believe that Senua's reality is twisted, you must accept that yours might be too.
You failed the gods. You're pathetic. Rotten. Cursed. What were you thinking? Did you really think you could win? How stupid can you be?
So stupid.
Everyone hates her. She's cursed.
The shadow hates.
Look at you. A warrior. Worthless. Weak. Pathetic. Go on. Feel sorry for yourself, because there is no one left to do that for you.
Everywhere. What's that?
Take it. If you're too much of a coward to fight, then end the suffering. Broken and lost. Just like your sword.
Come on. There.
You give everything and face that which torments you, only to find that it is worse than you could have imagined. Why go on? Is it really so weak to ask this? Or are we just so afraid of the honest answer that we do not dare pose the question? Sometimes the answer lies in a memory, a feeling, a song.
It's not real. It's a trick. It's not real. Listen to it.
Don't give up.
Dillian. It's
Not like this.
It's not real. It's real. It's a trick. Don't trust it. Maybe you're already dead.
Who are you?
Do you still believe in yourself?
No, it's
Enough.
It's a trick. It's a trick. He's already dead. He can't be here. It's impossible.
Dillian. Come to me. Please.
The light. Go towards the light. It's him. There he is. It can't be him. It's just a trick. It's in your mind.
No, he's here.
It's in your mind.
It's real. It's happening.
Go towards it. There it is. You're imagining it. It's Dillian. He's coming. It's so slow. How could you? Keep going. How could you? Keep going. Ignore the pain. I told you it was the trick. You. I told you. Where are you going? See, there's nothing to follow. Come on.
Before she first met him, she was not in a good place. Just a teenager, but not like the others. Barely functioning, she rarely left the house. Her father's in-bell made sure of that. Only occasionally did she venture out on her own, collecting firewood and herbs. Errands out in the Orkney Plains. That was her world. Like this one. Barren and lonely.
It's already disappeared. Nothing lives here, not even you. It's in your mind. You think you can see it, but it's in your mind.
There he was. The lone figure of a boy. Swordplay under the shade of a tree. She remembers the first time she saw him. To her young eyes, he moved as if dancing. And the world danced with him. The gloom lifted.
He's there.
The Northmen tell of a great hero. His name is Sigmund. His father's hall was built around a great tree, and one day Odin comes and thrusts a sword into the tree, a gift you never can lose. And he tries. Death for Sigmund and his brothers seems certain. But the king's wife is Sigmund's sister, and she begs for mercy and implores the king to chain them up instead. He agrees. Not for mercy, though, but because he plans an even more cruel and lingering death. Chained to a tree in the forest that night, a she-wolf comes and devours one of Sigmund's brothers. She returns, ravenous, night after night, until only Sigmund is left. The next day, Sigmund's sister sends a servant with honey to smear on Sigmund's face. But to what end? Well, that night, when the she-wolf appears again, you'll never guess what happens.
From afar, she mimicked him, perfecting her own secret dance, wishing those fleeting moments of light would stretch out to last forever.
As the she-wolf licks the sweet honey from Sigmund's face, he bites the wolf's tongue. The she-wolf pulls away, but Sigmund holds on. The chains break, and he is free.
How does he so effortlessly court the world and bliss? If only she could do the same. See the world through eyes anew and dance with it, just like he does.
What's your name?
Senua.
I haven't seen you before.
I don't leave home much.
Oh, Zenua's daughter.
I have to go.
Wait. Who taught you to fight like that?
No one.
No one?
Well, I watched you, and...
You learnt all of that from watching me? You should become a warrior, you know.
Me?
I'm Dilly. I'm here for the warrior trials. Come and watch. And bring your sword.
You can't put it into words. That moment when you look into the eyes of the one who is supposed to reassure you, make you feel safe. It only takes an instant. Fear swallows you before you have a chance to make sense of it. And darkness becomes a part of who you are.
You killed him.
But her world changed the day the Northmen took him from her. Senua knows that there's no going back to how things were. That there's nothing to go back to at all.
Stay still, stay quiet, hide, don't tell her.
Their gods can see into your mind. They will use this power to destroy you.
They won't stop me. I can still feel him.
Whatever's left of him, they will never let him go.
I'm not gonna let him rot here!
You're the one rotting here.
Leave me alone!
You will die here.
No!
And all your suffering will have been for nothing.
Shut up! Dillian? Is that you? I'll find you, my love. I promise.
Can you see him? You want to believe it.
Is he
It's
there?
not real.
Is he there?
You're alone in these mountains.
Is that Dillian? Nothing lives here.
You won't.
Survive.
You met him by the tree.
She met him by the tree.
Maybe it's a sign, the tree.
What's he trying to tell you?
He's waiting for you by the tree.
Sigmund's sister trades shapes with a sorceress, and in disguise, she lies with her own brother. She gives birth to a son named Sinfjotli. After a time, she sends him to the forest to Sigmund. They're captured, and Siggeir has them buried alive.
Take it.
A sword.
Take it.
Dillian left it for you.
Take it. Take it.
Take it.
It's ending.
It's coming from there and there.
What are they?
Look.
Where's it coming from? She started something.
What's happening?
Senua, imagine a sword that can slay gods. Its name is Gramr. It was forged by the god of all Northmen, Odin, and gifted to Sigmund, a great warrior.
I need this sword. It's important. Can you help me?
The sword appears whole, but it is an illusion. It shattered into shards long ago. It is said a great warrior can reforge Gramr by answering the trials of Odin, one for each shard. The roots of the tree of death will take you to new lands where you will face trials.
Find it. There it is.
Focus.
There's the shot. Focus.
Focus.
Use your eyes. Look.
Get closer.
What can you see?
A king in the north forced the dwarves to make a sword that would never fail and never rust, and that would slice through iron and stone and bring victory to its bearer. But the angry dwarves cursed it. It would be the death of a man every time it was drawn, and it would be the death of the king. Let me tell you about the sword Tyrving.
I don't recognize this place.
Where are we? Where is she?
It feels wrong. Where are we now? Burial mound. So strange that we go to such lengths to bury death. Something so very ordinary, inevitable. It's as if we conspire to hide death, because we have no answer for it. But when it comes, and it forces itself onto our friends or loved ones, then comes the wreck.
Go in. You have to go in.
Take the torch.
It's too dark. Take it. This will help you.
Careful.
You have to be able to see.
Who's there?
Dillian, I'm here. I'm here for the trials. Like when we first met, remember?
Where's he gone? Where's he gone? How did you let him go again?
What's wrong? What happened? Can you hear me? Just wait there. I'll find you.
Find him, get him back.
He's just there. How could you lose him? How could she lose him?
How could she? Find him.
I'll find him.
What was that? Did you hear that? Nothing. Was that voices?
Is that his voice or the voice of the dead?
Not Dillian.
Dillian's calling to you. Can you
Where
hear
is
him?
he? Where is he?
He sounds like he's getting further.
Senua, you remind me of a story that the Northmen tell about a young woman warrior. Her name is Herver, the daughter of a berserker born after he was killed. She's a wild, willful child who teaches herself to fight with weapons. When she learns where her father is buried, her only desire is to reclaim the treasure buried with him, but above all, the sword, Tyrving.
Don't touch the walls.
You don't know what they might do.
Turn back.
She has to keep going.
It's not safe here.
She has to keep going.
If you go down there, no one can save you.
It's too scary.
I can hear him.
Herver disguises herself as a man to join a band of warriors, and soon becomes their leader. When they come to the island where her father is buried, her men do not want to go ashore. They say that evil haunts the island, and that it is a worse place by day than other places are by night. Fearless, she lands alone. There are many grave mounds, and all of them have ghostly flames burning over them. She comes to the grave mound of her father after passing through these ghostly fires, as though they were mist. The flames I passed through were real enough. Damn the Northmen to hell.
You have to use your mind. Where can you go?
You're failing.
Think. Focus. Use your mind.
It's not him. It's not him.
We told you. We told you it was a trick.
doesn't sound like Dillian.
What's happening? It's not him, it can't be.
What's that sound? The voice is changing.
What? That's not Dillian.
That doesn't sound like Dillian.
It sounds like something more dangerous.
Something is here. Something is in the labyrinth with you.
Something evil. You don't recognize it.
Don't doubt yourself, you'll never find it.
She doesn't recognize it.
Yes, you do, you know.
She doesn't.
Listen for his voice, listen.
Dillian, where are you?
Listen for his voice.
Dillian. She can't hear it.
Quiet. He wants me to find him. I'm lost without him.
What's in there?
What's in there? What is it? A secret. That voice. It's not Dillian.
There's no way in. Find a way. There has to be a way.
Find a way.
There's always a way.
Don't stop now, don't give up now, find a way.
You're too close to stop.
Yes.
Dillian wants me to face my fears. Father? I'm leaving. I've decided. I think it will be good for me.
It's the darkness. It's speaking through
No,
you.
Dad, it's me. I think I can beat it. In my own way.
I can see the darkness in your eyes, child.
I met a boy.
Boy.
The chieftain's son.
No.
He said he could help me.
It's a trick.
He said I could be normal.
Normal.
Yes.
No boy is going to save you. No one can. When they see the rot growing inside you,
No!
they will turn their back on you. The gods can only fix you through my hand.
No.
You will not defy the gods! Come, child, take my hand. Come. Senua.
I am leaving!
You cannot escape the darkness. Your curse will make everyone suffer. You will have blood on your hands!
It's done. You did it, but there's more. There's more. You're tired. You have to keep going. There's still more. There's always more to do. It's not going to be easy. You're getting tired. Can you do another one? It's too much. Have you fought? She hasn't got the energy. No. Too much to do.
I saw once a plague strike northern lands of ice. It was so terrible that not the oldest man among us could remember the like. Hundreds died. The sickness took nearly every person younger than 40, and many older. And where dying mothers gave birth, the marks of the plague were on the babes as they came out of the womb.
Where are we? I don't like it. This place feels... What is this place? This place feels... It's... creepy. Creepy. It feels wrong. It feels strange. Where is it? Where are we? Turn back. This is wrong. This has to be wrong. There he is. There he is. The light. Go towards it. He's in the house. Find him. He's going in. He's disappearing. Follow him. Don't let him disappear. The air. Where's it gone? Keep going. Find it. It's just a trial.
It's a test. Like the old warrior trials. Dillian will help me.
The stench of rot. She can almost taste it. Do you smell it? No. Don't worry. Not everyone can. It was a warm spring day when she went to the river with Dillian and the others. To the water. She could taste the rot. But no one else could. She knew something was wrong. Something sinister. She begged them to leave, but they just laughed at her. But soon enough, as the bodies piled up, no one was laughing. And they knew that she was not like that.
You have to find Dillian.
The Northmen speak of a death moon, a light shaped like a half moon that appears inside a house and goes around the walls. I once saw the death moon appear at a farm, and first the shepherd died, then a guest died, and then the farmhands, and then the farmer and 6 of his men drowned at sea. That is not the end of it, because the dead return to haunt the living. If you see the death moon, then beware, because there will be death in that house.
Before he disappears, Senua.
You have to get in.
Senua! Come to me! Where are you?
I'm here! I'm right here!
Are you in there?
Where is he? Find
Come
him.
out if you are.
You have to find him.
The runes.
Focus.
Dillian! They're coming for me!
Are you dying? There's too much.
Someone's calling you.
Someone's calling you. What's the voice?
It's Dillian. Go to him. Go to him. He's trying to save you. There it is. It's close. It's close. Move away. Senua, move away.
Feel it.
You'll die.
Dead.
Let it see
It
dead.
is.
Go towards it. Focus.
Find
Focus.
it.
Focus.
Ah.
Run. Run now. Save him.
Run. You saw it. You came through the wrong door.
Where's your sword?
What should I do?
Where are we? It's not safe. I feel unsafe. Where is it? I'm not safe. You're dying. You're lost. You're dying. This is what death feels like.
The light.
Go towards it. Focus. 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 Look. Focus. 2-1. 2-1. Don't let it see you. Don't get lost. Don't let it see you. You'll start to burn.
Where are you?
Where is he? This is taking too long.
Can you hear him? You're lost.
2 more rooms.
You have to find them, Senua.
One more to find. One more. One more. Find the other symbol. You're lost. You've got them. Where's the door? Find a way out. Find the gate.
Get out. Get run. Run.
Move away.
I can't find you!
Senua! Senua! What happened?
They're blaming me for the plague. They say that I'm cursed. What if they're right?
How would they know such a thing? Are they gods? None of us are. They're just people. Good people, but they're scared. They're afraid of what they can't see. Like children scared of the dark. They make up stories to fill the void. That doesn't make them true.
What if my father was right?
You have to step out of this darkness. Let them see who you really are, like I have. You're not a monster.
Without you, this darkness This has made me a monster. What if this is pointless?
What if you're wrong? What if this is nothing to do with the sword? What if we're wrong? The sword will never be yours. What if this is the end? It's just a trick. It's just a pointless test. You've been fooled before. You could be fooled again. You don't know. It's just their game for you. You never know which way it's going to go.
I want to tell you a story about a god of the Northmen called Balder. The second son of Odin. He was beautiful, good and wise. He was fair of feature, he spoke fair words, he gave fair judgments. Light shone from him. Only good things were told of him. Yet he was the first of the gods to die.
You want to see what the mask sees?
No, she doesn't.
Where are we?
What is this?
It's the same. It's a knot. It's fixed.
What happened? The bridge is fixed. Let's cross it.
The Northmen tell this story about the death of Balder. It begins with dark dreams. Night after night, Balder dreams of his own death, and the gods fear for his life. So Balder's mother makes everything in the world: fire, water, iron, stone, earth, wood, beasts, birds, serpents, poison, sickness, swear an oath not to harm her son. One by one, they each make the vow. Neither weapon.
Go through it.
It's dangerous.
Follow it.
What's behind the gate?
Where will it take you?
It's not safe.
Dillion.
There he is.
There he is.
What are you waiting for?
Quick, find a way.
Find him.
Go through him.
Before he disappears.
Dillion, don't lose him.
Where is he?
Where's he gone?
We're in the wrong world.
He's not here.
She's in the wrong.
He's not in this world.
He's in the other one. He's in the other one. He's in the dark world.
The dark.
The dark.
The world once seemed so simple. Black and white. Darkness and light. Narrow dividing lines of our own making. Dillion taught her to see further. To peek through the cracks and see the worlds of colour stretching away from the gloom. And Senna explored new paths into the unknown.
And asks Balder's mother, is it really true that all things promise to keep him safe? I did not ask the mistletoe, Balder's mother confesses. I thought it was too young. Oh dear.
Do you even remember?
His love is guiding her.
You can't go up there.
You can't go up there.
Not in this world.
Not in this world. You can't.
She should have listened to her.
Why didn't she listen to her?
She thought she could do it. Look what happens to the things you love. There he is.
Where are you taking
He's
me?
up there.
He's up there.
How do you get up there?
There's a way. There is a way up there.
Find the way.
She can do it. You're nearly there. She'll find the way. You broke him. You killed him.
He couldn't see the darkness within you.
The curse is strangling you just like it strangled him. Do you know? Was it
Loki makes a dart out of mistletoe and goes to the gods as they throw things at Balder. The blind god, Huth, was there.
Years had passed since she left her father. She trained hard alongside her friend, Dillian. She saw things no one else could. Patterns, shapes, movement. An intuition that made her an exceptional warrior. Friendship turned to love. But the shadow of darkness never let her go, and she was caught between two worlds. That of Zinbel and her past, and Dillian, her future. Two realities tearing at her soul.
wasting your time?
You have no time for this. Speed up.
These rooms mean they don't know. It's all part of their game. Your girls
Trials to distract you.
They've set you up, and now they're going to watch you fall.
What if these trials mean nothing?
Laughing at you.
What if they take you no closer to Dillian?
You're letting this get in the way.
What if they are just to tire you, to make you weak before the battle?
You have no chance, my love. No.
Nobody will love you again.
Ever again.
Are you kidding?
The Northmen tell how the gods mourned Balder. His body was to be burnt on his ship, but they could not manage to push it into the sea, and sent for a giantess. She comes riding a wolf and has vipers for her reins. She pushes Balder's ship into the sea with such force that the ground shakes and the rollers burst into flames. When Balder's wife sees his body carried onto the ship, her heart bursts with grief, and she dies. She's put next to her husband, and the pyre is lit, sending the dead to hell. But even so, the gods cannot accept his death.
Because he believed in you. And now the darkness is swallowing you both. Was it worth it? Does it feel? Do you feel safe? Dillian loves you. What if this is pointless?
What are you doing? Why did you think you could...
Overcome with grief, the gods send Hermod to ride to Hell and ask Hela to let Balder return home. All the gods are weeping, he says. Are they? Asks Hela. We shall see if he is truly missed. If everything in the world will weep for him, he shall go back to the gods. But if even one thing refuses, Balder stays with me. The gods send messengers everywhere. Weep for Balder, weep him out of Hell. And everything wept. Men, beasts, earth, stone, trees, metal, everything. Except for a giantess they find in a cave. Balder was never my friend, she says. Let Hel keep what she has. The Northmen say that the giantess must have been Loki in disguise.
What if the gods are just toying, playing? What if the gods are laughing at her?
Messing with her.
It wouldn't be this.
First time. He led you astray.
You should have listened to your father when you had the chance.
Why didn't you listen to him?
His love has tortured you,
And it tortures them.
you have blood on your hands.
You are guilty.
Was it worth it?
Dillian!
Dillian never much cared for the underworld
You're going to fall.
and looked dimly upon the druids, like her father, Zinbal.
You can do it.
I guess he took after his father, a chieftain who believed nothing he couldn't see, and he happened to be blind. She felt safe in Dillian's arms, learned to see the world through his eyes. Slowly, the darkness that had bound her so tightly began to unravel.
Very careful.
You've come this far, don't let him slip away.
It's a narrow bridge. And there's a long way to fall.
It's your fault. He's disappeared. You've lost him to the sea. He's gone. You've lost him. Just come to the water. He's drowned.
Senua, your father cannot understand your darkness. He cannot see through your eyes. No one can. My own father was born blind. Doesn't have the faintest idea of what the night looks like. The word dark to him means as little as the word light. So someone is afraid of the dark. Should we fix them by taking away their sight? Would you give up the beautiful world that you only you can see, just to be rid of your nightmares. Or is there a gift that makes you so special in my eyes? Just another part of the person I love.
I left for the wilds to protect you from my darkness. Because I love you. But it made it worse. I'm so sorry.
Killing you would be too easy. They're taking your memories to torture you. They're taking you from the inside. You're disappearing one memory at a time. Every time you remember, it disappears.